everyone. This is Tim from the Geek Branch. So now this segment is actually Dane's turn. It is Depths of Disorder, I believe, correct?
Yes, indeed.
And so I'm going to let him take the lead from here.
All right, welcome out there, all viewers, guests, and audience members for us at the Geek Break podcast. Today we're going to be going into the depths of disorder. Now, the reason for that title is because I consider my own mind to be a very disordered place, and we're going to go diving to pull out something interesting, fun, and perhaps get this a little bit more organized than it should be. So I have two topics, and they're a little bit of a dichotomy. The first topic is going to be about Teen Titans Season 2. I am of the opinion that Teen Titans Season 2 is the worst superhero show in existence. Fight me, but we're going to get there.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Right?
That's exactly what's going to happen.
And then, last but not least, we're going into one of the things that I find to be the absolute best, perhaps definitively the best sci-fi series, period. And perhaps definitively the best series on all of TV currently, which is Amazon Prime's The Expanse.
That's arguable, but anyways.
Yeah, you didn't say anything Fate, so he can't agree with you.
No, we're gonna have to fight it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you consider anime to be TV, but we'll see. Let's battle it, right? So I have, of course, all up in the controversy. But starting off, we're gonna be definitely going into Titans. Okay, so we all were there for Titans Season 1. Right?
Yeah.
And
it was a hodgepodge mess. But
it was messy, but that's all that you really could say about it.
Yeah.
It had a great production value. It had a bunch of interesting actors taking up these roles. Definitely had the budget behind it. DC Universe didn't take things too lightly here. It was just messy. And I've enjoyed a lot of messy things in my life that are both fun and enjoyable, despite being disorganized and a little bit, strange. And we immediately jump into Season 2, and I'm like, okay, there are vast improvements.
Start. Yeah, great start.
With the exception of what is obviously the end of Season 1.
Yeah, yes, Episode 1 is really Season 1 finale.
You playing out at the beginning of Season 2. But beyond that, we're like, oh, this is a straight improvement. And they've hit on some of the things that I've absolutely hated and changed, because the blue filter, which didn't disappear, it didn't disappear.
It was there, here and there.
It was toned down.
Yeah.
But
you and Matt both hate that blue filter so much.
And the worst part about it is that the trailer doesn't have it. If you go back and watch the trailer for Season 2, the blue filter isn't there.
Because I know people hate it.
And then when they play the freaking series, the blue filter's there. Oh, but anyway.
Especially when you're in Titan's Tower. They really like that blue filter in Titan's Tower.
Yeah. But anywho. So, Season 2, I actually started out with a rising opinion. And then I reached a critical point, which is actually right around what I consider to be the best episode of the season, which is Connor's introduction, Superboy.
That's a great episode.
Yeah. And I realized that this is a sweet episode.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. And it has nothing to do with the series.
It was a complete total side plot.
Right. Then I just had to stop back. Like I had to in the height of my enjoyment, I had to take a step back and I had to think about it. What has anyone done this season? What has anyone accomplished? What's going on?
Dick tried to remake the Titans.
But no. Well, wait. In 24 episodes, the team is broken apart 3 times.
Yeah. Well, are you counting in the past too?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, there are 2 flashback episodes that are purely flashback episodes that build character and really deserve to be in Season 1 because...
And do my boy Aqualad wrong.
Right. And then you have Jericho in this entire incident with Slade, and this is integral to who the Titans are as they currently are in the series.
Right.
And that did not exist in Season 1 at all. There's not even a hint
mention.
Of it, right, in Season 1. So I'm like, okay, whoa.
Well, they were trying to fix things, try to pick up the pieces.
Right. So I'm like, okay, well, let's take a second here. And as I started to think about it, and as I was wrapping up the series, I was like, I think that the reason why I have suddenly started to just hate the show is because it's failing to do the things it intends to do fundamentally. Its core features are just flawed products.
And they have the budget to make this a proper without it being all
Well,
over the place.
They have the proper budget, the proper cast. The locations are amazing. Some of the fight scenes and setups are really good, especially whenever Deathstroke's kicking someone's butt.
Right.
Some of the concepts are amazing, like what happened with Hank and Dawn, Hawk and Dove.
Yes.
But
Well, no, most
mean,
people that have watched the show will
would
know their
know.
real names.
okay, yeah. So I think I'm gonna stick with the superhero names just to make sure we don't get confused. But like what happened with that kid who Dr. Light assassinates. It's almost as if like every episode is sort of kind of just forgetting where it is in the continuity of the series, because that kid dies and they are like nonplussed about it for the longest point of time, to the point where they're actually like singing karaoke duet for Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Yeah.
You know, like they're doing okay. And then they get reminded that kid got assassinated by Light, and it brings them back down to the point where Hank relapses and ends up in some
He ends up pit fighting.
Pit
For
fighting
drugs.
and,
Right,
and
right.
falling asleep while having sex with some random woman.
Yeah. He completely like trashes himself, and
Yeah,
then
for
recovers,
no reason.
Recovers in the same episode though.
Yeah.
like he's back to the road of fixing.
Okay, so there's a certain when the group breaks apart the third time and Dick goes to jail is when everything just went off the rails.
Right.
They lost their direction. They forgot why they're making the show, I think, and so they totally lost focus on Slade, and they had everybody go in these opposite directions and had a lot of loose threads that they didn't even answer because they're expecting to answer some of this stuff in season 3, which is very annoying. And like with Dawn and Rachel go off to New York, I think it is, and Rachel for no reason at all runs away from her and then teams up with some random orphan girl, and so apparently her powers can make demons now.
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
Gargoyle.
Well, it's not that it made a demon. It
Possessed a gargoyle.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, hold up one second.
I'm sorry, but I
know, I know.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as Dane, but it does fire
Bother
me
him.
up.
Yeah. So wait. So Raven suddenly masters her powers.
Yep.
Also, that's another thing that just randomly
Well-
occurs. She has far greater control suddenly than she's ever had before.
Yeah.
And we're like, when did this occur? Certain characters just disappear.
Yeah.
You literally don't see them for episodes at a time, and then
Rose
they
and
pop
Jason.
back in. Yeah, then they pop back in. Jason,
They underutilized Rose completely.
they attack Jason so badly that
Yeah,
the
they were-
boy considers committing suicide, and they never bring it back up.
They were jerks to him.
Like they railroaded
Like we
this guy.
get it, like he's a douche, but he never deserved the treatment that he got.
No. And then Rose is the Judas.
Yeah.
Just
But they've done that storyline in the
But-
comics
but-
before. I know that bothers you,
but-
but
but-
they've done that storyline before.
my brain is
That's from the
exploding.
comics.
No.
It's in the comics. It's been done.
Nope. We're gonna get there. Hold up. So I'm just covering some of the things that blew my mind. The Titans have killed more people than they have saved.
Yeah.
Take that into consideration.
Even the
for a
people they
second.
try to help, because really,
They have killed more
Jericho.
people than they have
I mean,
saved.
Jericho's not really dead, but
Oh no! Jericho is started off hanging out with his dad, watching TV, and ends up now having to hang out with the sister he doesn't know. You know where he is? He's inside of them,
yeah, he's inside Rose now.
just hanging out.
I'm sure they will get his body.
We're okay.
Although
with
I
just,
don't understand how that'll work because I'm sure it started decaying at this point.
right,
So
yeah, Wonder Woman. Sorry, not Wonder Woman. Wonder Girl
is dead
is just dead.
for a really dumb reason, by the way.
Via the power of electricity, which
Shouldn't kill her.
Shouldn't kill an Amazonian. Now, maybe that bullet that was meant to kill an Amazonian does work for killing Aqualad.
Yeah,
I mean that's
that
reasonable.
one. That one was reasonable.
But random electricity, just even a lightning bolt shouldn't take out an Amazonian. But we're gonna get to all of this in just a moment. I just wanted to express some of the outrage I felt towards the series. But let's go down to some of the analysis. Okay, what this is meant to be is an adaptation of the Teen Titans, and that is the primary goal of it. even if you're just taking the source characters like the Arrowverse and telling your own stories with them, they're obviously adopting storylines from the series directly.
Yeah.
Unlike creating entirely new things like the Arrowverse occasionally does. Because sometimes the Arrowverse literally just takes the slightest tangent of what a character was in the comics and then completely revamps them.
Yeah.
And that's to their credit, because now that's something completely new. It just is only carrying around the title.
Right.
This, though, is taking tick for tack some things from the comics.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Blackfire.
Yeah.
That's a really important story arc. A really
yeah, and then they
important story
finally
arc.
bring her up like a few episodes into season 2.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, this isn't your season. You deserve to be in season 3.
Which she will be the main villain.
Yeah, but I'm just like, this is Deathstroke. Deathstroke, who could be here for 2 seasons by himself.
They did Deathstroke really dirty. Like, they didn't give him enough screen time. And, like, when they did, it was just like, he was barely in the scene.
Well, so yes, they're taking directly. And so when you decide to do that, inherently, you should maintain a level of consistency in your adaptation. Even if it's going to be something unique for yourself, some things carry through. Okay, so let's look at some of these things. Raven's issue is that her powers come from a giant interdimensional demon conqueror.
Right.
And you don't get away from that.
No.
But her mastery and certain uses of her powers are always dark, negative, and reflect the fact that her powers come from a giant demon.
Yeah.
And there were consequences to that in the beginning of the season, like scars appearing on her body, and the fact that her powers were going out of control and almost killing her allies.
Almost killed Jason.
Right. And so when you get to the middle of the season, she has mastery of those powers with no backlash anymore.
Yeah, no reason why or anything.
It takes away her most important character arc, which is understanding her relation with her father's powers and how she uses them as opposed to what he intended them for.
Yeah.
Right.
That's gone.
Okay.
Okay. You go to Dick, who is literally a hopeful Batman. Because Dick's story is one for one the tragedy that Batman endures, which is the loss of his parents before his very eyes.
Right.
And rather than being like Batman, who was left alone and had to take on this vow and move forward with only his willpower, Dick had support. And so Dick becomes a character that is more light, more caring, more free, and more hopeful than Bruce, while still having all the same values and abilities as Batman.
Right.
Right.
And so what we get in Titans, though, is Thomas Wayne. He, like, when we get down to it, Aqualad dies
Yes.
as a part of a accident, not even really an accident, but him being heroic in the middle of an assassination.
Yep.
And taking a bullet that was meant for one of the leaders of the Amazonians that Deathstroke had been sent to kill. So the Titans get together after, dealing with his death and tell Dick to be Batman. Which in this universe, Batman is a very violent, very dangerous person.
Even though they don't really show that when Bruce shows up in the show.
Right, he's much more calm and reasonable. He's like the Bruce you might have expected
Yeah.
when Nightwing's becoming Nightwing.
Yeah.
But Dick, of course, accepts it perfectly fine. And so what Dick, this character, who we know from the comics, who they're adapting from, decides to do is to literally go to Slade's son, an innocent, unrelated party.
Yep. Jericho.
And drag him into this situation. Use him to get to his father. Attack Deathstroke. Lose. And when Dick's about to die for his actions, Jericho sacrifices himself. And Dick has the gall to go back to the Titans who sent him out to do this mission and say, Jericho died because Slade killed him before he ever arrived at the church.
Yep.
In reality, Jericho died saving Dick's life. And so
it was never Dick's fault.
It was never Dick's fault.
And they should have never been pissed off at Dick.
But no, Dick goes and tells them. Well, it's Dick's fault for getting Jericho involved in the first place.
Right.
Well, actually, in my opinion, it's not still. In fact, my entire opinion, it's Dove's fault that Jericho got involved. Because you remember, as soon as it
And
happened,
they're a couple
the
at this
first
moment.
thing that Dove says is, all right, be Batman.
That is
It's
true.
when
He
their
tells her,
relationship.
she tells him to be Batman. And in the very next episode, when they're showing the flashback of Jericho, she's the one that's like, I don't know. I don't think we should do this. And I'm like, You're the one that told him to do it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
said
Like,
to do
this
it.
is what Batman would do.
Because these characters are spastic. But let's get back here for just a
well,
second.
well, also, it's not his fault because Jericho, at that point, when he got killed, he knew that they were originally trying to use him.
Oh yeah, Dick told him everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
told him everything, and he was okay because they said that that's not their intention anymore.
But
so it's Jericho's fault that he died.
Well, Jericho did the same thing Aqualad did. Jericho was a
He,
hero.
he was a hero, and Deathstroke killed his son by accident.
Right, which is horrible for Deathstroke
Yes,
because Deathstroke didn't take it well. But we'll get there in a second here.
yes, he's not totally heartless.
So Dick, of course, eventually comes and tells the other Titans the truth.
Yep.
Yeah,
And what you get is the most nonsensical reaction
made no sense.
that I've ever seen. This is the worst writing I could ever possibly imagine. Because
You know who writes the show, right? It's Goldsman, Ava Goldsman, the guy who wrote Batman and Robin, the guy who wrote, he wrote a lot of stuff. He's terrible, but he wrote one of your hated series, Star Trek Discovery.
that explains so much.
He wrote Hancock.
Oh, that explains so much. All right, stop.
Sorry, he is a
hack.
a big part of the industry, of the comic book industry.
Oh my Jesus and Christ! All right,
Yes.
so listen. Oh God, that just completely shut down my entire brain.
Sorry.
So the Titans respond by treating him like Batman.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what happens when Batman reveals that he's been keeping secrets from the entire Justice League or from the
They
Bat
get pissed
family,
off at him.
and they all leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you
Yo,
are
they
the
were
ones-
in on it.
You sent
They
them out
were
here.
in on it. They
How dare
knew.
you? How dare you shove the blame onto Dick? You are the ones who did this.
Wonder Girl most definitely knew.
And they have the gall. Hulk comes up and just decks him in the face.
Like, he didn't know what was going on. Everybody knew that they were using Jericho.
They were all in the same room when it was
Yes.
being decided upon. I'm like, you cannot possibly respond. The young Titans have every right to be like,
Because they
screw
no
this,
one
I'm
knew.
out. Yeah, screw this, I'm out. You
Especially
guys are horrible.
Rose. Especially Rose.
Right. But
Because that's her brother.
right, but well, and then the worst of it is that Rose should already know because she's
Yeah.
working for Slade. So
She did know.
okay. So I'm just saying, yeah.
She did know.
She was playing the role.
She was playing the part of being shocked.
But yeah, so I'm just like,
She's a good actress.
she was. They have a lot of great actors.
Yes.
But my thing is, okay, so that's nonsensical. And then what's even more nonsensical is that Dick, who's this entire time has been trying to move his character into a lighter, better,
More fun.
more heroic,
What you would expect out of Dick.
version of himself.
Nightwing.
Right.
Yes.
Nightwing decides that I need to go and take responsibility for this. So rather than going to the police,
After years passed,
Right,
and
right.
he's hallucinating.
yeah, but I'm saying like rather than going to the police, because yes, he's seeing Bruce,
Yes.
but
His own
Hallucination.
interpretation
Okay.
of Bruce.
Hallucination Bruce is great.
yes,
Especially when he does the
Reminds me
Adam
of
West dance.
reminds me of Hallucination Jack from Samurai Jack.
Yes.
But yeah, so also I think that Hallucination Bruce is the most well-written character in the entire series. Let me say that right there.
You know,
great.
He's the one character that's only there as a
a
brain-
figment of his imagination.
is the best written character of the series. But
He's a
regardless,
part of a lot of people's figment of their imagination in the show.
yeah, because of Raven's shenanigans. But regardless, we continue on. He says, I'm going to go take responsibility. But rather than going to Bruce and telling Bruce, or rather than going to the police and just admitting that he had a role to play in the death of this boy, he instead goes and attacks two random cops in an airport and gets arrested.
For what? Well, because at first he wasn't planning to attack the police officers. He was just trying to get away.
That's even worse. Because rather than taking responsibility, he did the epitome of the opposite. He ran away.
I love at the end how Bruce does not whatsoever, because there's a family dinner towards the end, bring up about the fact that he's wanted. That Dick Grayson is a wanted man
for breaking out of jail.
Yeah,
But
doesn't care.
regardless, we continue on because
A
that's
son he raised for years.
right. Is a criminal,
Yes,
but
which is essentially what Batman is.
and at least Jason Todd had the reasonable explanation of being dead
yes,
in the comics.
Yes.
he was dead.
yes,
Batman's guilt stopped him from doing a whole lot of stuff in relation to Jason.
yes.
When Jason was Red Hood, but this is completely,
Different story.
Yeah, this is completely out of bounds for that. So not only does he run away from all of his problems. But while he's in jail, the idea for Nightwing comes to him in the form of a random exposition from another prisoner.
Yes, who died? Wait, no, he survived.
No,
He
he's one of the ones that
escaped.
survived.
Yeah,
that
he
escaped.
escaped.
Yeah, so
he
I sit
escaped.
there and
My
I'm
bad.
like, this is how we get our Nightwing.
Not through Superman. We weren't gonna ever get that anyways.
Who cares? But I love it. But
I know we
regardless-
love it, but you knew you weren't gonna get it because then
I
they would have had to
know.
casted another
I
actor for
know.
Superman, and that would have been.
Just stop. All right, but
No,
look,
no.
that's fine. That's fine. I
They
understand.
wouldn't even give us Bruce in a Batman suit.
I know.
I mean, Jesus, like, do you really think that Bruce is that often in his civilian clothes?
Right,
Come
right.
on, people. He's usually living and breathing in a suit.
I know. But let's continue on, though. Let's just continue on.
No, I'm sorry. It's just
We get to Beast Boy,
yes,
whose job suddenly becomes babysitting newborn Connor,
which was so dumb,
which is the worst decision since
especially
they
because he's
left.
Beast Boy.
No, it's the worst decision since they left Beast Boy and Jason in charge of the tower.
Yeah.
When they had to go off and go and fight Dr. Light, and Jason got completely trashed and taken by Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Literally a 1-for-1 of why you shouldn't leave Beast Boy in charge of dangerous entities. Superboy immediately runs off and murders cops.
Because he thinks they're assaulting somebody.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And instead of trying to resolve the situation like Gar should have, he runs away.
like a champ. And this is supposed to be the Teen Titans. We're not even done yet. Coriander.
Still only turns into a tiger.
I know, right? Budget.
We saw a snake. We saw a snake
Snake.
The
once.
first episode.
Once.
Yeah. But anyway, Coriander, or Starfire, obviously, not only does she not develop as a character, which this is going to be
She
true of
de-
most every character,
de-develops.
she reverses.
Yeah, she reverts as a character.
I'm like, what is this?
And to make it even worse, like she's losing her powers.
Without the comic book setup.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because Tamaranians are a Superman analog in the comics that are powered by their emotional spectrum, basically.
Right.
And generally speaking, if they can't be happy, if they can't channel the correct emotions, they can't access certain powers.
Right.
They need joy to fly. They need, well, it's technically anger, but regardless, they need anger for the Starbolts. All the stuff that, well, she doesn't actually have Starbolts. She has flamethrower powers. But regardless, all of her powers in the comics have a very strong relationship to her emotions.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why she loses her powers on occasion in the comics.
Right. Makes sense.
We've never had that setup for this.
Right. Why
Yeah.
has she lost them here? We never said anything about Tamaranians losing their powers. She didn't have any memory of who she was alone.
That girl was so drunk that she was in an arcade vomiting and thinking she was in her spaceship.
Right.
The two
And this little girl told her to get her act together.
The two episodes of the old Teen Titans cartoon I remember about that literally focus on Starfire's power is the one where she and Raven get body swapped and
Yep.
they have to learn to use each other's powers. And then the episode where they get stranded on a planet and because Robin says something to her, I don't remember what it is. I think he literally friend zones her in that episode, like says something alongside the friend zone thing, and she literally can't use her powers the entire time because she's so freaking depressed about it. And he can't figure out why she can't use her powers.
Yeah, because he's totally oblivious to her.
Yeah, but like that just and those just two 30-minute shorts from an animated series did a better job
Yeah.
of explaining her loss of powers
Of course.
than this entire
Well,
series does.
Teen Titans, the animated series, was not an respected
well,
the material a lot more.
Yeah, it was a poor adaptation, but man, was it at least true to. That's my point. It was
Yeah,
at least true
true
to
to the
source.
characters.
Yeah. So I sat there and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. All right, Coriander just died as a character. We're good.
Because that wasn't Dick Grayson, by the way. That was Tim Drake, I think, and the Teen
It's a
Titans.
mix.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
mix
Wait,
between the two.
in the cartoon?
The-
No, it was Dick.
Is
he's
it-
a mix.
He's a-
he's an actual mix of the two of them.
Well, sure. I'm just saying it is.
Dick Grayson is his actual name.
Yes.
Yeah, his name's actually Dick Grayson, but he acts more like Tim Drake half the time.
Yeah, he's a mix of the two Robins.
Yeah.
But regardless, so we move on from there. Coriander's just dead as a character. We've already been over Raven mastering powers that should take her entire life, but we're gonna cover that in just a few episodes with no explanation at all. Beast Boy, of course, and Connor then get captured by Cadmus. Connor becomes kind of caught in some type of psychedelic mind control that the way he gets out of it is an underdeveloped, in fact, almost non-developed friendship with Dick.
no friendship, zero friendship. They never even met. He
Yeah, I was
even
gonna
made
say,
that
yeah, those two
comment.
never even actually
He
interacted.
even made that comment. Oh, you must be Dick.
Right, and so this is
Why would he be the one to make it work? Because he's like, let me do it. He doesn't know you. It should have been Gar. Gar was
Right.
the one,
who
or
was babysitting
Jason,
you. Yeah, well, okay, but regardless,
who actually made a bond with him, or even Starfire would have made sense. Dick made zero sense
At all.
He wouldn't even know that Dick is Dick when he went into his brain.
exactly. So we cut that out. That's how that worked out. I understand why.
The way they handled Gar with his brain surgery, and then obviously his
Well,
brain surgery doesn't matter as much.
No.
Sorry.
Let's get to Gar. Gar gets captured by Cadmus. His head gets opened up. He has physical brain surgery that makes it so that anytime he gets triggered to turn into a tiger and start mauling people to death, he's attacking Raven.
Yeah, they made him hate Raven, who we all know he
Has
cares a
love
lot
for.
about.
Because the power of undeveloped romance. Because
Yeah.
literally their romance is also
Undeveloped.
criminally undeveloped.
Yeah.
So we proceed on though.
And she's too nice to him.
Yeah, so he just starts murdering people left and right, just gruesomely killing
Yes.
people. And Raven, of course, is the thing that turns
Turns.
this. When Raven appears in front of him,
The real Raven.
the real Raven, under all circumstances, his number one goal should have been to immediately maul her to death.
And she should have used her powers to basically push him against the wall or something like that.
And then have a
and
moment
stopped him.
and then have this moment where the power of love frees him.
Yeah.
But that just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at all.
She's able to contain him within like a 2 minute like a 2 minute clip where she calms him down and tells him it's Raven, you know who I am, and she touches his paw and she heals him of all of his brain surgery.
Right, which is something that Raven can't do.
Well, apparently in this series she heals people.
Right. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, look, okay, here's the reason why Raven's powers as a character can never be positive.
Yeah, it's darkness.
Yeah, right.
She gets her powers from Trigon.
Right. There's nothing that could ever positive. She can use her powers to save people.
Right, that's the positive from her darkness.
Right, but
Yeah.
there is no positive aspect of her powers.
No.
Right?
Right.
Like, even when she teleports you, she's teleporting you through a weld of darkness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a pleasant
Well, she
trip.
don't have teleportation.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying in the comics.
I know.
But so as we proceed on though, that's Raven. We can literally go through every series of characters, and you realize that not only did all these characters not accomplish anything as far as character development, but they were all written poorly, had horrible interactions. The entire team has still, after 24 episodes, failed to come together. We end like we did in season 1, where it's like now is the point where this team will finally become a family.
At the end of season 2 is when they finally become a family.
You say that.
But they'll probably break apart.
Again. Because hasn't it not happened 3 times now?
It'll happen 3 more times in one season. Okay, but I understand hearing your case. While I don't think it's the worst series ever, I know why you think it's the worst series ever, because it has the potential to be one of the best, and they constantly miss the mark over and over again.
Look, there have been shows with bad production.
Yep.
There have been shows with bad writing. Looking at you, Batgirl. And
Gotham.
Batwoman. Yes, Gotham. Bad writing. There have been series that have no budget at all.
Birds of Prey.
Right. There are series that just couldn't bring together what they needed to bring together. And the worst part, and this is the reason why Titans to me is the absolute worst superhero show
Because
ever.
of their potential.
Not just that, because they had all the components that they needed to make a good show, and then they failed to be heroic in any way. The only characters in Titans that are heroes are dead.
Yep. Aqualad.
And
Jericho. He's still alive.
No, he is dead. His
He'll
physical body.
He'll come back,
his
though.
physical body is dead. It is the most tragic thing I've ever seen in superhero content.
Well, it's because they're trying to make this into an origin story that lasted way too long.
Look, there are plenty of things I could do about correcting and directing, and I'm pretty sure that all these people out there, besides that guy who made that blue filter, love their job, did a lot of hard work, and deserve a lot of
doesn't
respect.
do any hard work or respect.
But yes, okay, so the guy who made the blue filter and the writer.
I'm sorry, I don't like that guy. He's screwed up a lot of stuff.
But here's
over the years.
Here's the reason why it takes the cake.
He touched Spider-Man,
Yes,
so
but
I hate him forever.
Here's the reason why it takes the cake as the worst superhero series ever. What a superhero show, what this genre is about showing that tragedy, that circumstance, that all the things that can make life difficult can be overcome even in the grandest of scales.
And it's what makes a hero stronger.
And it's what makes a hero a hero.
Yeah.
And I have never seen a step-by-step categorical failure for
They
that
have
very purpose.
so many examples
Yeah.
that they could use.
For that purpose, for 24 episodes in a row, this right here deserves to be in the Guinness Book of World Records as the greatest failure to achieve a concept known to man. It is the worst superhero
Have
show.
they not ever watched Disney's Hercules? Zero to hero, okay?
That's all I have to say about this segment. If you guys managed to keep listening all the way through it, I really do appreciate you. As you know, I have such a disordered mind, but thank you for delving into the depths with me. I am Dane. This is the Geek Branch Podcast, and we appreciate you. Tim has his slogan, which I am not going to say. That is not me. I only have to say, like, comment, please comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. We're out.
Bye, guys.